YouTube and TikTok. Double the fun. Gentle music playing. Bada bing, bada boom. YouTube Live, TikTok there. Double platform, double platinum. I don't know if this is going to roll on the double platform thing, but whatever. If you're on YouTube, you can follow me on live TikTok, King Hog Admirer. If you're watching on TikTok, you can follow me on YouTube at Grit and Glitter Homestead. What a day. Excuse me. Cheers. Oh, let's turn that up. I completed my shelf because I don't think I could take another day working on that shelf. As much as I enjoy working on projects, my mind had given up on that thing a long time ago. And I've cut this, and I want to start playing with that. A shelf is a shelf. You know what I mean? But this is special. I've been playing with that. Oh, get that trash out of here. This giant piece of, I don't know, it's a root ball of some kind. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? JW, Thomas Floyd, Ignacio, and YouTube, you too. I haven't gone live on YouTube in over a year. There goes that light. Little Woodwork N Chill. I don't know what that is. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not trying to co-host with anybody. Not unless you want to play with my wood. Come on in. Take a look at this thing. I don't know what this is. Thank you for the daily heart. Appreciate that. Hi there. Making a shillelagh. Shillelagh. I don't know what that means. Shillelagh. I'm actually going to make this into a table. My idea is simple, elegant. I'm going to clean this up. It does have a little rot here. And I'm going to poke at this and prod at this until it goes away. And then I'm going to fit on top. I don't know if you can see. Just going to bend this up. This is going to work just fine. I think it would look really awesome if I put a glass top on there and finish this out, get it all cleaned up really nice, maybe put a nice stain on it, and fit that glass topper on it so you can see through. It was driftwood, and I cut the bottom off down here. An interesting fact, when I was cutting off that piece that was sticking out, this had bulged out, and I figured out why is because there was an old piece of barbed wire running through it. And when the barbed wire ran through the wood, I guess when it was still alive, it grew around it and made this really fat base at the bottom. That's where I decided to cut it. It actually ended up being the perfect size to make a table out of. So over the next couple weeks, I'm going to work on cleaning this bad boy up. I don't really even know what it is. I don't think it's cedar. It doesn't have the cedar look. When I cut through it, it didn't have the cedar smell. I'm thinking it might be oak. And if that's the case, it's going to have to be an indoor piece. And I'm going to have to treat the crap out of it with something. and we're not going to get those really beautiful colors that go along with cedar. So, but nonetheless, I mean, this thing looks awesome. Looks like the spirit of an old man perhaps lived in there, or an elephant, or some kind of cephalopod, or something like that. Who knows? But I know it looks really nice. Find near water. Cypress, possibly. You know what? That's a good guess there. Cypress. Very well could be. We do have some bald cypress indigenous to the area, I found out later. So I've got this wire brush, and I just want to see how far this soft goes into it. I don't want to take too much off of. If I could like hit it with a clear coat of some kind, maybe some kind of epoxy or polyurethane, something like that, and save it, then I'm going to, because right as it stands right now, and I know I've got it elevated here, but as it stands now, it's at a really good height for a side table or card table, or I don't know. Does anybody, any Magic the Gathering players or Dungeons and Dragons? But I found this a long time ago, probably like 2 years ago, and unfortunately, I didn't take care of it. I neglected my wood. And what happens when you neglect your wood is you can get an infestation of bugs and animals that want to eat it. So hopefully, what are you going to use as legs? It's actually this will be the leg, just one leg. It'll go up. Oh, you mean like coming out from here, like a stabilizer? Yeah, I guess that would be important. Hey, you know what we could do? What I could do is I could take something like this. Coming out with it. When you neglect your wood, it won't stand up anymore. That's true. And then if you over-treat it, you take it down to not good either. So don't you got to find a healthy balance. Don't neglect the wood, and then don't play with it too much. You got to find a right balance. It's all about balance. If you play with it too much, you pull too much off of it, Yeah, it's actually standing as is. I'm thinking that now that my buddy Cody just pointed out, some kind of leg. You know what I mean? Something that goes like that. If you'll use your imagination with me, something that's sticking out, something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I found some cool. It's a piece of cedar, and it goes like this. It's like a hook, So maybe we could put that on there somehow, and pull that to it. But anyway, I'm gonna take a look and see how far the rot goes. Hopefully, it's not a lot of rot. Hopefully, it's just a little bit. Hopefully, we don't have a rot. I'm really exhausted today. We've been working on our bathroom and finishing it up. If you've ever worked with concrete board, it's like drywall except harder, brittler, and just more unforgiving. We've been doing that all day. So concrete board, Duramat or Duraboard, or it's like the drywall that goes in around your bathtub. So we've been doing that all day. King Hogs. Oh, the drink. There you go. It's for hydration. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a big drinker. It's literally just a drink mix that has electrolytes in it and stuff that you need. I want to kind of poke through this. I don't want to poke super deep. Because if it's just rotted through and super soft, you know? Oh. Pretty deep there. Oh, that's really juicy. That's really gooey. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. So if it goes in that easy, chances are all this surface stuff it's not very good. If it's just coming straight off like this. Now, if it's like that, you know, nothing coming off, solid, that's good. Soft, bad. If your wood's too soft, nobody's going to want to play with it. You could treat your wood if it's soft, but chances are that rot's going to be eventually just going to come up and bite you in the it's no good. So if you're going to make something, if you're going to take something like this and you're going to put a lot of work into it, don't use floppy, flaccid, rotten wood. Use some good hard stuff that'll stand up. You know what I mean? That's why I like cedar. No matter how old it is. I mean, this bad boy was probably set adrift a long time ago. There's no denying. Maybe we're too soft that is tunneled out for legs, supports to wedge. Yeah, we could. Yep, we could. We could definitely get in there, pull all this gooey out, and that'd be like the starter hole for where we put the legs. Good idea. Sometimes if you get in there and you find some really good rot holes where the wood's all flaccid and floppy and kind of squishy, you can follow those rots and it'll make like a really neat pattern. The pump works. I've never been one to pump the wood, but no judgment here. There's no judgment. Spalting. Barb. I don't know what that means. Spalting. Is this a word that I should be familiar with? Spalting. Spalting. I think I'm reading that right. I should know. Crap. You know what? Okay. Spalting. Spalding. Oh, no, you're right. There's no U in it, though. Spalting is rot active bacteria in wood. Okay, so this is what I've got. Spalting is a wood discoloration caused by fungi that colonize the wood and extract nutrients, resulting in dark streaks and patterns. Huh. fungi mold. So is mold, if it's present on the surface, present throughout, does that mean it's no good? Can we seal it up in there maybe? Or are we going to have mushrooms growing out of the table? Maybe we can cut it off just like you do when you get mold on your cheese. Just cut the end off, seal it up. Cool. Yeah, and this guy, honestly, it's only this one spot down here. So what I could do is, if it comes down to it, if I'm just taking off a lot, I'll just color or I'm reading. I'll just cut it here and do my legs out from there and get all this cool stuff here. I mean, I wish I could turn it. I don't have a lot of room here. You can see the back. Yeah, there we go. This is why I don't like to work with big wood. I'm more of a small to medium type wood guy myself. My shop's not big enough for these big pieces of wood. Better? Spalting also outs beautiful lines in wood. Doesn't mean it's rotted. Cool. So yeah, maybe it's like it would be like an accentuator, contour for the lines. I don't want to wash it with too much light, but I want you to see these cool these knots here, the holes. Very, very lifelike, like a tree of souls. So, yes, accents, save it. Barb, a man of taste, or a person of taste. Sorry, can't assume that. So check this out. So this is what I was talking about earlier. At some point, this was in contact with a barbed wire fence. There's barbed wire in this, and I think that's what makes the bulge. There's another piece down here, and that's what made this bulge. Which leads me to believe that at one point this was growing next to barbed wire. So from this view, you think an ice sealer? Well, my only concern, can't really see. There is a pretty decent crack here that goes all the way down. And that soft, gooey stuff kind of starts here. No, not really. It's more like right here from where this barbed wire is. Barbed wire. Barb was married to a master carpenter. You rebuild carburetors. Yo, so that's something I just learned how to do this year. Well, not really. But a buddy up the street from me, he's really good at that. He loves carburetors. That's his thing. Epoxy and fill grooves. Let me see what this barbed wire is doing. Okay, this music, I'm gonna have to change this. I don't know what's going on with the opera sound. Does anybody hear the opera sound? Not that one either. Sorry. Okay, we'll go back, but we're going to skip that one. Sorry. Okay, leave wire adds history. Well, you can't really tell what it is, and it's just kind of rusted up. It would be cool if you could see it where it's running throughout. Okay, so if it's one's here, and there's one here, one going around, and I know that this one goes around and through because when I was sawing through it, I got sparks. This one, I don't know. There's one, I bet there's one somewhere up here. No, might be low, medium, high. So if this is sitting in the ground like this might be the lowest one. That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't be opposed to having it there just as long as it's like not rusting. No. Redwood burl slabs and your tree branch and your music and hot rods, but all my furniture is redwood burl slabs and your tree branch table stump. Huh. You have a tree, you have a table that's like this too? I'd like to see that if you did. Let's skip this music. Elegant piano solo. This one's sticking out here. See if we can turn it. What's it hitting? Oh, this. And go back the other way. I don't think there's any other way. To fit this in here in a way that's not on some level awkward and weird. Sorry, I'm just playing with this my big wood with this big wood here. There is purpose. There we go. Okay. That could have been dangerous. Oh, so somebody had mentioned power wash. You know, I do have my air compressor here. I could just blow on it. Oh, let me scroll up. I'm sorry. Did you say something? Sandblast it, leave it. That would have been funny. Okay. All right. Bungee that thing to the wall. Thanks, Brightwood. My furniture is worth big bucks. Raw edge slabs. No water. Sandblast. Okay. Sandblast is best. Well, I don't have that. But so like sandblast, right? So it would be taking off material that would already be rotten and falling off. It'd be like, what is it? Agitating the surface. So if I do that, just like I'm doing with this brush, over time we'll achieve the same, just not as fast. Some of this is just good old-fashioned dirt too. So let's see if I can get a good light on this. And pull that back. This light is bright. Okay. What's an alternative to sandblasting? Barb. Oh, you know what? My buddy just texted me and he said Amazon has cheap sandblasters. Let's take a look. I like having my computer out here. When I make it big on TikTok, I'll never have a sandblaster. Bead blasting? Bead blasting. That sounds... That sounds like an innuendo. Bean blasting. Okay, never mind. All right, let's take a look here. Amazon. Sandblaster. Hey, they're not bad at all. Cool. Do you have to get sand? Sandblaster. Can't wait for the day when I can blast the crap out of my wood with this sand. No, plastic beads. Okay. I do like the green, and I like how it's like even though it's probably some kind of rot or fungi, I do like the way that looks. I like how it looks aged. If I could lock that in. Yeah, that one goes pretty deep in there. This stuff is just kind of pulling right off. Come down with this rot line, all these rots, and just kind of follow, kind of like it flows top of the tree to the bottom. Love when a man listens to a woman. I listen, yeah. You gotta listen to everybody, doesn't matter. If I don't listen to my wife, it's just being a bad person, bad husband. I don't know. I take that. Sometimes we don't listen to each other, but it's not because we don't want to. It's because we both have the attention spans of goldfish. And if we're focused and dialed in on something, There could be a hurricane going on over here, and we're just like, It's coming off really good. And then, you know what? I like how on the inside, I'm going to change the focus or the angle. I'm not sure. I like how saving your furniture. Kudos for listening. No offense intended. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I'm not offended. Not at all. I'm sorry I didn't get your joke. I'm going to be better about that. Although I was in the store today and somebody was very militant and angry with me for no reason. And it was a similar situation. I was trying to be cool, and it did not translate well. And I won't even go further into details, but they had multicolored hair and was exceptionally angry with me. So, what type of tree? I'm thinking. I'm not really sure yet. I was thinking oak. Men don't like listening to my automotive talents. Well, screw them. Who cares? I don't know what kind of wood it is. I was thinking oak, but a buddy of mine suggested cypress, and I think it kind of has the look. Cypress going down. I could definitely see the water line here, and this being the root ball of a cypress. When I cut it open, it didn't have that good pickly smell like oak has. So, oak tree, in your opinion? Okay, we'll take a look. We'll get closer. I would turn it on its side and let you see what the inside looks like from here, but I'm not moving this again. It's dangerous. Good news so far is no creepy crawlies have made their way out of it. No wood bees. This is just a wire brush. Very delicate. Get in the crevices and the cracks. This is pretty. The first couple inches down here, kind of gooey, but once it gets there, just below the surface, still pretty dense, still pretty hard. So I don't think I have to take off too much of this, but I definitely don't want the rot. I don't want that gooey stuff. I want it to be pretty hard. Or if I can save it by maybe doing some epoxy, then we'll do that. But I don't I have never worked with epoxy, like a big amount. I've done little things here and there, just touching up things and using it to reinforce stuff. But I have not done those deep, big pours. But I'm not opposed to it. I mean, how hard can it be? That.os. If you are good at something, it doesn't matter which gender. Wisdom is wisdom. True that. Barb, if you're still there, I like small engines. I built a mini bike. I'm gonna do a live with the mini bike someday and show you how it's pretty primitive, but it runs and it'll carry me around. And it's got enough torque and pull to get a deer out of the woods. So let's see, here we go. Recommended taking acetone drenching to evaporation to stop rot. Acetone. Okay. You know what I do have is denatured alcohol. Which I use to make the snake skin solution that's you what am I trying to say? To make this where it won't continue to rot. What is that, tanning? This stuff though, you know, I don't really. Denatured alcohol is good. Paint thinner. Yeah, okay. Cool. Fester. Yes. Hide making. Yes. Yes. It makes it to where you can work with it. I've got a bunch of this for that. So maybe just before I go, I can just douse it. Maybe. Curd. Curd. Like cheese curd? Cheese curds? Curd. Curd is the word. Still out for grab. What's on the table? What the table is? What the wood is? Bird is the word. That stuff will work, but But so I want to ventilate. Well, there is a bay door right behind me, so obviously, I would do that during the daytime. And I would probably want to get more, right? So no explosions. Yeah, we don't want that here. The last thing we want is for our wood to explode. An old, delicate piece of wood like this, if you put too many chemicals on there and risk explosion. You know what I mean? It's abuse. Bay door, yes. And Dave, where are you? I'm in Arkansas, but right now I'm in our shop area in the house. This space back here is mainly used for utility and washing, but we're homesteading, so we're still building our house. And so we need somewhere that tools can be stored that's not in the house, because we will start and not finish projects forever. So it's best that we have a central location. I would love to have a shop that's not attached. Old wood, sawdust, rags can cause explosion. Yes. So usually what I do is I go through and I sweep and I vacuum all the sawdust up. But I didn't do that this time. So I will be safe. Thank you for the help. Although I do want to show you this. Check this out. Just from the amount of cedar we've been working with, all of these cedar shavings left over. And then like when you walk into the garage, you smell this. And it's awesome. Love it. Cedar. I think what I want to do with these shavings is put them into little mesh bags and hang them up around the house. Nature's mothballs. John Perez, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Hope everything's going good. Appreciate the love. I will follow you back if you follow me during this live. Also, Brightwood Sprite, who's sending chilies. That's my wife. She goes live and she does stuff too. And she does, she's the chick. She does a lot of our chicken stuff. Pulley 54 Charlie, thank you for the follow. Pulley 54 Charlie. I hope I'm saying that right. Make incense out of sawdust. Yeah, I've seen that with wax, right? Thank you for the follows. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Brightwood Sprite. Yes, that's my wife. She's awesome. She sells a lot of stuff on TikTok Shop, and she does she goes live with the chickens, talks about the chickens. She's I think she just did a crafting live. She does a lot of that. She is really good at skincare. She's in charge of my skincare and my crow's feet lines. So you could follow her for that. She's really good about all that. She's her lashes and all that stuff. Anything that you put on or around your face, she's going to know about that. So Brightwood Sprite, if you would follow her, appreciate that. It helps us both. And thank you for following me as well. Let's see. Hold on. I hope John, thanks for the follow. And I'm sure she's going to say thank you for that as well. She's great. She's way more active on here. No, we're not going to do that. John Perez. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody. There you go. Yeah, Chicken Chat, Crafting, Artsy, and the Fartsy. And anything to do with being girly, who knows? I know that when TikTok sends her a bunch of like beauty masks by proxy, they end up on my face. And if it's one thing that I know, you don't mess with something that's not broken. Can't mess with the moneymaker. That is a joke. Oh, some chilies. Brightwood Sprite, yet again. Follow that lady. I live in a tourist town, but homesteader cooking plan for winters. Yeah, so we always had like a dream or a goal to have land somewhere that we could like prep. And we ended up finding this place, and we ended up being able to afford it if we sold our house where we previously lived, and it just worked out just fine. So yeah, now we have that. We live very rurally. There was nothing on this property before we got here. Every single thing that's here now is because we put it there. Um, I don't know anything about any of that, but I do now after 2 years. Um, I didn't prepare beforehand either. We just kind of just went after it and learned a lot about building things and being in the woods and growing things and hunting and all those things. And so a lot of my TikTok is about that stuff. Um, we were off grid for months, and that turned into a year, and we didn't get full power on our property till about a year ago, I guess. Full power to the house. We had a temporary pole that I wired up, and we plugged our RV into it. I didn't know how to do that before we got here. Electricity, plumbing, everything to do with building a house. We did get help. We did have some contractors come in and finish the walls and the drywall and kind of get us going there. But the rest of it is up to us. And we're doing all the finishings, all the trim. The bathroom's not done. The kitchen's not done. It is a livable space, but we're finishing it and getting it to be our version of what we want our house to be. So it's been a journey. It's been a long journey. So prior to that, I had no interest in these things. Pieces of wood. I played a lot of video games. Did a lot of indoor stuff. I really value being comfortable and warm. So I'm really grateful for the climate control we have now. And I'm really grateful to my neighbors and my buddy Cody, who's in the chat, who helped me put the air conditioner in and do a lot of stuff. So very grateful. Great living experience, learning experiences all around. I tried to get back on my video games the other day, and I just don't really care about that anymore. I don't know why. I really just enjoy being outside in the woods and trying to figure out what kind of mushrooms I can eat. And I mean, I can be in the woods for hours just taking pictures of like plants to see what it is. So very happy with that. And it was difficult because we're not from here. And there are times when I think to myself, like, wow, did I make a mistake? Was this a mistake? And then I'll get out there and I'll start hiking around, or I'll start looking around, and the wind will blow through the trees and it'll hit it just right. And the smell of some kind of plant will waft past my face. And I'm like, there's literally nothing better in the whole world than that. And it's all worth it again. Kirk out. I'm seeing a moose head and antlers. Moose. I'm seeing that guy from Ice Age. What's the little thing from Ice Age? Sid. Right here. Toasted? What does that mean, Kirk? That's a moose head. No, you're welcome to be toasty here, brother. Come on in. A little Christmas cheer. I really like how the grains are popping out as I drag the brush across. This light died. I want more light on it. This light right here is awesome. If you want one of these lights, it fits the key to battery. You can find these on Brightwood Sprites TikTok shop. Awesome. Still trying to figure out what this wood is. I wonder what kind of indicator there would be. Oh, this is Kool-Aid. It's just a hydration drink. It's got electrolytes. Hey, somebody on YouTube's there. Hey, YouTube. Wood. I'm gonna put the light over here. Maybe that would be better. I need to be able to see myself. Ooh, that's a big flaker. I do like the green. You know what would be really cool is if could get some moss on there and preserve the moss on the wood, like at the height of its growth, and then like somehow just like capture that and leave it. Hard to beat oxygen. Oxygen ultimately is what kills us. Let's see. I see 3 people watching on YouTube. I don't know. Nobody's talking though, but I'm mainly live on TikTok, so I appreciate it. Paul White. I know that person. Would bear mace be safe in the woods out there? You know what? I've got this idea for a rehab. And you just take people into the woods and leave them there. And then they have to fight their way out. And I feel like whatever problem you had going into it wouldn't really matter after that. You know what I mean? And not just substance abuse, just like, you know, maybe you're just like really out of shape or something, you know. And the only way to get out is if you like get out, you know. I don't know. Maybe if you're I guess if you're faced with whether or not you're going to survive whatever problems you go into the woods with, if you're fighting for your life to get out, those problems would seem very small, I think. Now we just need to get people to pay for that kind of danger, putting themselves in danger, you know. Like what was your problem going into this? I don't know, dude. But that's a bear and it's got babies, so you better run. Dremel tool with a steel brush, maybe. I've got tons of tools, but I'm mainly just probing to see how deep it goes. And if it's flaking off with this little steel guy, like that, see all the dust coming off? Eventually it's going to stop. So a Dremel. I do have a Dremel also. But I don't want to use power tools because then we can't chat. Although, hold on. No, I don't want to turn that on either. Be right back. Electronic duster. Actually working pretty decently. See if we can turn this just ever so slightly. Not very good at handling the big wood. I like working with little wood. Oh. There we go. And safe. John says that's what she says. We sure hope so. I know that if somebody says, I'm just going to leave that right there. That could go so many ways. Let's see. Jim Bob. Hey, I just follow here in TikTok. Jim Bob. All right. Let's see. You followed there. You followed on TikTok as well? Did I miss it? Jim Bob. Oh, John. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. John Perez, and then Jim Bob on YouTube. Appreciate that. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. See, this thing, I don't know what it was, but it's got barbed wire stuck in it. So, barbed wire. I seem pretty cool. Thank you. I don't think I'm pretty cool. I feel like I give off a big weird vibe, but I'm at the point in my life where I don't really care. I'm just kind of leaning into it. So maybe that is cool. Bro, where has Bear Mace been? Evan, I don't know. You live right up the road from him. You should go over there and inspect the drywall patches I patched for him. I patched some drywall over at his place when I was over there during Thanksgiving. You go over there and inspect and see how I did on my drywall patching. Hey, it's okay, man. It's okay if you're weird. You don't have to apologize. Be unapologetically weird, and then you're a trendsetter. This barbed wire. I'm betting that goes all the way through. You guys can't see on YouTube. Sorry. Let's see. It's right here. See that wire? And then there's another one here. Barbed wire. Don't call myself weird. That's weird. I'm okay with it. All right, cool. Let's keep going here. So I think once we get this piece of wood to the point where nothing's like flying off of it and nothing's like flaking off of it with just a little agitation, just start treating it, spraying it with all kinds of chemicals like polyurethane, epoxy, motor oil. Just leave all this barbed wire. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut this one. I don't like it. Let me get my wire cutters. Whoop! Okay, well, that's gone forever. Guys, can y'all hurry up and like his stream? Yeah. Yeah. Not required, but it is appreciated. You don't have to do it if you don't actually like it. You know, I don't want no liars up in here. I'm just kidding. If you like the stream and you follow, I will follow you back. If you go live and I see that, I'll go in there and hang out in your chat. Appreciate that. Share the live too. Share it. Share it and cherish. All right, well, there goes one piece of barbed wire. I'm just going to take the rest of that and bend it back up inside. And then I'm going to trim this guy right here. Loud noises. Set heart me goal. Oh, more chilies. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. Not required, but is appreciated. What's happening? Why does it make me do this? Pull the puzzle piece. Unable to verify. You're crazy. Thanks for the gifts. I was told by TikTok that I don't react enough when I get gifts. Thanks for the gifts. Appreciate that. There we go. Piece of barbed wire. Can you see that? Nice and smooth now. Be really awful if newly married bugs had just moved into this thing and was settling down to start making their forever home. And I start dousing it with chemicals and poking at it and removing stuff. Dave the Birdman doesn't get gift. Well, I'll give you a gift. If I ever see you live, I usually just take all the gifts that people give me during these lives and I just pay it forward to the community. I don't know if y'all heard that. Usually I just take all the gifts I get here and I just pay it forward to the community. So You think you have to monetize? Yeah. You got to do all that. You got to make the deals. You got to make them big business moves. Wow, look at that hole. That looks like a would-be burrow. Nope, shallow. These are all pretty shallow. Pretty shallow. Pretty cool. Okay. I think the question now is to stain it or not to stain. Should we put a stain on it? I'm thinking a stain would look really good. It will get darker. Well, I could do a light stain and just accentuate what's there. And stain is a good preservative. No stain? Stain or no stain? Good as is. Okay. This thing's loud. Let's turn that off. Like its armpit. Somebody somewhere is enjoying the armpit being Creer soul. Creer soul. Make it richer, mixed with denatured alcohol. So use denatured alcohol with the stain to dilute the coloring. I got to move this around, dude. Shout out to all the big wood havers. Shout out to the big wood havers. All right, let's see. You're right. Through the preservative of the wood. I think they use it on telephone poles. Yes, dilute color, stop rot, cleanse, stain, all in one. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take some of this denatured alcohol and we'll mix it with this stain. I do like this color. I did finish my shelf finally. It's sitting right here. I don't want to show it because I don't want to move the camera, but just it looks awesome. Whew! Whew! That smells like hooch. I need to pour this out somewhere. Man, that was a strong smell. All right. There's noises going on, and I don't know what they are. Is it the likes? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for interacting. Okay, much better. That was a strong smell. I don't know what that was. And you know what I'm going to use? I'm pretty excited about this. I went to Dollar Tree today and I got some new brushes. 3 of them, $1.25. Can't beat it. All right, so what I'm going to do, mix up a little bit. Going to mix up a little bit, paint a little bit on there, see how everybody feels about it. See how I feel about it. I'm going to turn the light a little bit down like that. I also want to put some stain on this. This white driftwood cedar, when stain hits it, it's so like, it's such a rich, dark color. So I'm going to hit both of these. But I'm only going to dilute the one that's going onto this one. Live goal achieved. Brightwood Sprite. Follow the Brightwood Sprite. Follow her. She's great. I'm married to her. Helps both of us. Thank you. Now I got to do another goal. When I go live, my wife helps me meet my goals. And I'm okay with that. Makes me feel good. Let's turn it to something different. I'm thinking snowflake chain. You know what? I think I'm supposed to do these fest bursts. There, fest bursts. I don't know what that means. All right, cool. So denatured alcohol to, let's see, stain ratio. So I guess I'll start with the stain and pour in the denatured alcohol a little bit at a time until we get somewhat of an accent. Maybe like, so if it's this dark color here now at the bottom, I kind of want to pull it out to like that orangish kind of brown. I think. See what happens. Excuse me. Got a little cedar stir here. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Check that out. It's a stir. You know, I've been trying to change it up on these lives and do different wood other than cedar, but cedar is king, man. It just looks great. It smells great. It's got heart. It's got like red and purple in there. There, now we have a real stir. Get out of here. All right, cool. So if that's the base at the top, this dark, I want to pull it back to like right there, I'm thinking. Denatured alcohol. Very strong, very odorous. Paint thinner and fuel source. And you can use denatured alcohol mixed with glycerin to snakeskin. Preserve snakeskin. Now I just need to figure out how to open it. Oh. So we're going to thin out the stain to like a light brown auburn tan. Try not to spill it all over the workbench. Oh, that's wild. Why is it pulling it like that? That's... Maybe I should put the lid on it and then shake it instead of stirring it. Watch how 007 takes his shaken but not stirred. See what happens. You know what? Kind of want to test it first. Old wood. That's very strange looking. But you know what, though? The tan, kind of what we're going for. I'm going to stir that a little bit more. I think what we don't want is we don't want the emulsification to break, right? Like when your oil separates from your flour when you're making mayonnaise. Fully emulsified. No bubbles. No bubbles. Tim Wolf says no bubbles. Oh, because we were talking about shaking it. We don't want any bubbles, correct. Let me put it on there and then wipe it. Super. I'm gonna add some more stain. I want a little bit more stain in there. You can just take that denatured alcohol and just douse the whole thing. See what happens. Ooh, there we go. Okay, now we're looking more like mole sauce. Anybody know what mole sauce is? It's like a chocolate Mexican sauce. Mole, kind of where we're at. You can see that. Dark, rich. I do like that color right there, actually. I'm going to stick with that. Do one more test here. It's kind of got like a essence of baby poop, it's like a baby poop brown. Excuse me, but I do like that. All right, so we're pulling out the color just a little bit. Don't want it to look too different than natural. Make sure all that's closed up. Let's just see where we get. It's just gonna soak it right up. And take that nuance out. I don't want to take the nuance out. I don't want it to look all the same. Oh, it looks so good when you wipe it, though. I know you can't see very good right there, but let me continue on. Is that better? See, do you see? You see the dark, and then it goes light here. My dog left something similar on the carpet when we had worms. Huh. We picked a dog up off the side of the road, and he used the bathroom, and it looked like something like this. That's wild. I never seen that before. I like the way this looks. I think I'm just going to keep going with what we got here. Somebody in chat, remember the ratio was about 2 shots of stain and 1 shot of denatured alcohol. I better put the lid back on that. That's not safe. All right, let's start with this. Not getting rid of too much of the natural look of the wood. We want it to look aged. I went super heavy right there. Two to one stain to denature. Thank you. You think it's going to make the texture pop? I do too. I know, and I wish I could show you better than what it is. Actually, the YouTube cam shows it pretty decent. Let me see if I can change this light. There you go. You see the different colors? Dark, light. You can get it every little crevice. I really like how it's taking on a whole bunch of the color. and then it's kind of like changing it a smidge. This part here is more green. I think it looks awesome. Let me pull some of that out. Can you see all the different? Okay. Okay. What are we looking at? Oh, okay. So this is a root ball. It's upside down. Can you see the roots here? Right. Yeah. I think so too. I was hoping I wouldn't regret it. Okay, so this is a root ball. I've cut the bottom off and turn it upside down. And I think the goal will be is to make a table out of it with a glass that'll sit on top of the roots, so you can see down into this part. And I was debating on whether or not I wanted to put the stain on there, and I really like the way it's ending up. I like how there's nuance, some dark. I did just pour a bunch right there and went concentrated, but there's some dark and lights and colors, and the character of the wood is I think it's going to be pulled out with the stain. So I think it's actually doing a pretty decent job. I don't want to go too artificial with it though. Kind of want to keep some of that characteristic, some of that aged look. There's a pack of song dogs right outside. Song dogs. Coyotes. And I've diluted the stain down with a little denatured alcohol. I think that it was the right maneuver. I want too much of this grain to get lost in the sauce. And I want to keep the rustic look. I think it's making it pop pretty decent. And then I did take a wire brush down here to pull out some of the rot. So where did you find it? I found it after a flood of the area, and it was in the middle of the road. So I just picked it up, threw it in the truck, and took it back to the house. So I thought this was cedar for a while, but I've got another cedar. I've got another root ball that is cedar. Doesn't look anything like this. Putting the stain on also, like, it's not going to look like this once it's all dried and cured up. Can be a little deceptive on how the color pops. But you can see here where it's starting to get dried. Change the light a little bit. Can you see that there? There you go. I think it looks great. I'm really enjoying it. Man. Let's see. I don't know if I can I zoom? Oh. Can you see all the little knots? You know? Where I pulled this out, the rot here, it almost looks like like a tree hollow. Really in on the face. It's like a tree hollow. See that? Almost like some kind of forest critter lives there. And there's a good way for you to see the difference in the contrast. Unstained, stained. I think it looks really good. I'm very happy with that. I'm gonna let that cure up. Kind of pull down some of this. Pull the peaks out. Go up over here. Like that. The armpit of the tree. It really does look like an armpit right here. On this side, you can't really see. I need to fix that camera. Pull you guys back in. Boom. Too far. Boom. Right here. Gucci Gucci Goo. It's almost like little faces like melted in there. Like like Jackson Pollock, no matter where you look at it, something's going on. You can see the difference. Green, deep brown, that ashy look on the other side. All right, once this jar is done, I'm going to stop and let it dry a little bit. And see if we can all still be friends and I didn't ruin this Civil War era root ball. I don't know. I am curious about trees. And I like how they have such deep characteristics and like, you don't know what major events in the world this tree could have been present for. Float down the water and end up right here on this table. Okay, cool. So I'm going to let it, well, almost looks red right there. Love that. So I'm going to let that cure up. Actually, I think I'm going to be done right there. Let's see. NH Woodworker Bill. NH Woodworker Bill. Thanks for the follow. I'm going to follow you back when I get off of here. I'm assuming you'd like to do woodworking. Oh man, I just don't think I could have done any better. I'm glad I pulled a lot of that stain color out because if you go too dark, I mean the lights, the darks, the nuance, it gets lost. But if you do it right, and you put just enough on there and you pull it out where you need, wipe it good. You keep all the nuance of the wood, you keep its age, you keep its soul, and you just accentuate all the things that make it really cool. So I think we achieved that, at least on this side. So go back around to the top side. This is what we looked like at the beginning. This is after the stain. And this will continue to change color as it dries and cures. And the good part about it, when you stain it, it's like treating it. So it'll help stain either rot or any of the problems that are in there, any living organisms. They're not going to survive harsh stain chemicals. So to use the rest of our stain down here on this side. You can see there. Yeah, very good. And then before I go, show what it looks like on this cedar driftwood. Because I've already been splashing it. Not sanding it, not pulling anything off of it. This is how I found it. And look at the difference. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. Look at it. There's a lot of characteristics on this grain that you lose when it's this dried ashy white. And when you stain it, it turns such a dark, rich color. And you don't even have to put sandpaper to this. You don't have to finish this. You don't have to pull anything off of this. You just add a little layer and it just revives it. I mean, look at that. Has all the characteristics of a finished piece of wood. Amazing. Okay, it's 10:30. I'm tired. It's late. Everybody's leaving and nobody's interested in me anymore. So no, I'm just kidding. I appreciate everybody that did stop by and followed, liked, gifts, all that good stuff, engaged in the conversations. Appreciate all the help and the tips. I I'm trying to go live on these days, Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays. It could be all three. It could be none of those, but it will be usually one of those. So thank you for the gifts. Um, so that's that. I don't know if YouTube did anything, but I'm live over there too. Appreciate everybody that stopped by. If you will follow me, I'll follow you back. If you do go live and you end up doing some woodworking stuff, I'd love to watch and learn with you. So appreciate that. If you would follow Brightwood Sprite, that's my wife. She's in the chat right there. She does stuff that is more girly, but hey, maybe that's your thing. Maybe you would like to take really good care of your skin after you get out of the woodworking shop. So hit follow on that. And then, yeah, if you have any suggestions on where to go from here. So like I said, the plan is we're going to keep doing these projects on live. Not going to work on it much in my free time. I'm only going to make progress here. And this one I've been looking forward to. Lots of suggestions, lots of people talking about what we're going to turn these root balls into. And I'm glad to start getting on one. So I think it looks great. I think it's going to be great. And I hope you guys come back to figure out where we're going to go next with that. All right. So yeah, you guys have a nice weekend. Thank you and take care. Bye, YouTube.